So we will start by the session, Amazon session, about getting ready for the holiday season sales. So today's session will be about knowing a bit more on how to sell on Amazon. So I know some of you will be brand new sellers on Amazon, and some of you will be existing sellers ready to sell during the holiday season. So I'll make sure I'll cover everything for all of you today. We will check the holiday season opportunity. As you all know, your Amazon sales will get really high during this season. So we want to make sure you're ready for that. I will also cover some tips to make the most out of the holiday season sales, and of course how to get started. So just very quickly, I wanted to give you an overview of Amazon, so especially for the new sellers that we have with us today. So Amazon has 11 global marketplaces over the world. We are present in America, as you probably know, the US website being our main marketplace. We also have Europe, where we have 5 different marketplaces. So we have France, Germany, UK, Italy, and Spain. And we also have marketplaces in Asia, such as India, China, and Japan. So for those 11 countries, we have consumer-facing websites where people can buy their product directly on Amazon.cn, for example. A number to remember for all of you is the number of buyers that we have, which is about 285 million worldwide. Those buyers are active buyers, so they've been buying products on Amazon within the last year. Some benefits about selling on Amazon. So of course you will access a new sales channel for you. You need to see selling on Amazon as a huge opportunity for you to enter new markets. You'll benefit from an established brand. So Amazon has been well known in the world, and people trust the website. And we will help you simplify and scale your business. So as I was telling you, you have opportunities to grow your business internationally through 11 marketplaces. And a very important number to remember would be that, especially in the US, online shoppers start their online journey and their buying journey directly on Amazon. So it's more than 50 of them, 55%, compared to 28% searching directly on search engines. How to get started. So again, for the new sellers that are with us today, it's pretty easy to get started on Amazon. There's 4 steps that you need to remember. The first one, you will need to create an account. The second one, you will need to list your products. The third one, you will need to promote and drive traffic to your listings. And the fourth one will be about the fulfillment, how you will fulfill your orders. So I will cover those 4 points right now, so we will go more into details. About creating an account, it's quite easy. You will have to provide a valid credit card as well as your company details. So make sure that you have everything ready before you start registering. And then you can process to the registration, and you'll get access to your Seller Central account. So you have the link here, and we will also send that to you in the follow-up email. About listing your product. So we will see in the second part of the session, when we will be talking about, some tips for the holiday season. It's crucial for you to spend time on listing your product properly. Why? Because we are in the online world, so you want to give your buyer as many information as you can. So whenever the product reaches home, you'll have all the information, and you will also limit the number of returns by making sure your product description is as clear as possible. To do so, you'll have to have few pictures. We highly recommend you to have at least 4 to 5 pictures, the main one being on a pure white background, and at least 1,000 pixels. That will allow sellers buyers to zoom into your picture and to see better about the features about your products. Make sure that you have very clear bullet points. Make sure that you have a very clear product description as well, because the buyer will want to know everything about the product before he buy the product. To list your product on Amazon, you will need to have a barcode, a UPC or EAN, which are the standards barcodes to list products. If you're reselling other brands, or if you are reselling products in general. If you're a brand owner, you won't have to provide us a UPC numbers. What you will have to do is to register your brands through the brand registry. So make sure that you do that to first protect your brand, and second, making sure that you can list your listing properly, your product properly. And for some categories, you will need approval. So make sure that within Seller Central, you apply for those categories. So depending on the category you'll be selecting, you may have to provide us invoices or different information about the product you'll be selling. The third one was about promotion and driving traffic to your listing. So to drive traffic to your listing on Amazon, we have an advertising platform which is called Sponsored Product. So basically, it works as a bidding system. So you'll be selecting keywords, and you'll be able to create a campaign to promote your products so that they appear on the first page when someone is searching for your products on Amazon. It's a very powerful tool, and we will also discuss later more in details, but that's something that can really help you during the holiday season. The last one being fulfillment by Amazon. So for those who are not aware of what is fulfillment by Amazon, it's a service that Amazon will be fulfilling your orders on your behalf. So how it works is basically you would need to ship your product to the fulfillment centers, and Amazon will be fulfilling the orders for you. As a customer, they get 2 days free shipping on the product that they have been ordering through that Prime option. Good news and bad news for all the new sellers that are together with us today. There has been a new policy that has been released at the beginning of the week. So for all new FBA sellers, you won't be able to ship any new FBA shipment to us until the 19th of December. Because we want to ensure that we can quickly and efficiently dispatch the inbound inventory during the peak holiday season. So not to worry, it means that you have more time to prepare your listings, make sure everything is compliant, and prepare your shipment as well so that you're ready for next year, 2017. So now we can switch to the holiday season subject. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the increase of digital spending in the past holiday season, because it has reached about $70 billion, and so it has gained 13% compared to 2014. There's a huge increase both on desktop and on mobile. So the increase on mobile is about 60%. So people are buying for holiday season directly through their mobile. And Amazon is leading this trend. Indeed, the traffic on Amazon has been 6 times more than all the competitors in the markets. So we have about 178,000 visitors during the month of December last year. So another number, then we will move on more details and tips, but another number would be that Amazon year-on-year sales has grown nearly 14 times the overall retail industry growth rate. So there's a high opportunity for you to join and sell during this period of the year. The traffic is there. You just need to make sure that you have all the information ready for your buyers. Yes, so that's why I'm going to give you more tips right now. So seller on Amazon during the last holiday season, we've seen that they have been growing 40% during the Cyber Monday, and they've received orders for more than 23 million items. So something to keep in mind is that, when we talk about holiday, of course, we are talking about Christmas, but we are also talking about other holiday, which I'm going to describe later, such as Cyber Monday. It's huge in the US. So your Q4, so your sales during October to December will grow exponentially. So just wanted to share some trends, on the net revenue on Amazon, and so you can see how your sales will be growing in the future. So it's the right period to be ready and to start being really successful on Amazon. So I was mentioning that holiday period also include different holiday in the year. So here you have a list of some of them. You can easily find them online as well. Knowing that now we are mid-October, I want to highlight 3 of them, the 3 next holiday that you need to keep in mind and be ready for. The first one being Black Friday on the 25th of November. Second one being Cyber Monday on 28th of November. And of course, Christmas, 25th of December. So be ready because your traffic will be higher. Your orders will be higher as well. So we want to make sure that everything's ready for those holidays. It's a huge opportunity for you to sell more products. Okay, let's go for some tips about best practice and how to make sure that your accounts stay healthy during the holiday. First of all, I want to highlight that you should monitor really regularly, even maybe daily, your account performance. So you'll get notification. So make sure that whenever you receive an email from Amazon, a notification about your account health, that you take it really seriously. We will be sending you some updates and on your metrics. So make sure that you follow that very carefully, answer those emails, and have all the information ready before the holiday season starts. You have 9 metrics. So whenever you're in Seller Central, I invite you to click on the Performance tab, where you will be seeing those 9 metrics. And you can easily see whether you're green or you're red, for example. So make sure you're always green on those 9 metrics. And if you're not, make sure that you take action very quickly. You wouldn't want to have one of your listing blocked during the holiday season, especially if it's one of your best-selling item. One metric that I want to highlight right now is the ODR, the order defect rate. That's something that you need to check really carefully, make sure that you've shipped all your product on time with all the information needed to the customer. Make sure that you are really responsive to customers' questions during the holiday, and that your inventory is up to date as well. You wouldn't want to be missing some sales because your inventory is not up to date. Check your cancellation rate. Make sure you're not canceling orders during this period. And once again, check the notification that you'll get from Amazon. So the second one is about preparing your inventory. So as we were saying, the traffic and the volume of your sale will be increasing during this holiday period. So we want to make sure that you'll be shipping enough quantity so that you can sell all your products. For that, you should be shipping those products as soon as possible. So again, for existing sellers on FBA, because if you have experienced that before, or maybe it's your first holiday season, I just want to highlight that trucks will be queuing in front of the fulfillment centers. Lots of product are getting in. So just as a tips, make sure that you've sent your inventory way in advance before the holiday starts. Also, I highly encourage you to use the selling coach. That's a tool that it's in Seller Central, and you can use those reports easily, to know where you are with your inventory, and whether or not you should be restocking products for the next few months. Download those reports and work on them to make sure that you have all the information with you. I think one of the best practice I want to share with you today is really spending time on having a great product description. It's really important, we were discussing that earlier, on knowing that your customer is very far away from you, he hasn't seen or touched your product yet. So that's very important for him to have all the information that he needs to know your product. Images are really important. Remember, the main one has to be white background, but the rest of the picture can be lifestyle background. If you're selling toys, if you're selling, I don't know, home, kitchen product, make sure you also have lifestyle pictures so the buyer can, know more about the dimension of the product and everything. So pictures is really, really important. Make sure you have high quality pictures. People can zoom in those pictures and they get to see all the aspects of your product. I would also advise you to have very consistent bullet points where you enter all the information that the buyer wants to know about your products. So create good content, make sure that you give all the dimension, the materials, information that the buyer would need to buy the products. Title is also really important. You want to have a detailed title so that when people are searching for keywords and searching for products, they will have information through your title. On Seller Central, you have style guides for each category, so you can download them, and you'll have all the requirements to be compliant and also to create great product listing. So make sure that you download this style guide from your category, so you have all the information with you. Talking about sponsored product again, so we will go more into detail now. Remember that that's a tool that will help you to be very successful during the holiday period, just because your product will be appearing on the first search pages when people are typing your keywords. So to do that, I just want to remind you, or maybe give you a tips on how to create your sponsored product campaign. We would usually advise you to start with an automatic campaign so that the system will be allocating you some keywords linked to your product, and that will help you to have a list of all the keywords that could be linked to your product. So start with an automatic campaign for maybe a week or 10 days, and then you can start creating your own manual targeting campaign. So just download the report from your automatic campaign, select the most successful keywords from that campaign, and add all the keywords that you could think of. You're still the one that knows your product best, so you can add as many keywords as you want. And make sure you review regularly those campaigns so that you can see the traffic, see the results, and you can adapt for your next campaign. Make sure that you review your daily budget during the holiday because the traffic will be increasing, so you may run out of budget earlier than usual. So make sure that you have an eye on your daily budget during those holiday periods. We also want to make sure that you have competitive bids. So the system will be suggesting bid for your product. So make sure that you have a look at the suggestion that the system is giving you, and that will be available under your campaign manager. You can also watch some video in Seller University about the sponsored product and the bidding in particular. You can add different search terms such as negative keywords. They may help you to increase the traffic, as well as exact match keywords in the manual campaign. Evaluate the performance, make sure that you keep an eye on how your campaign is performing. Try to even have few automatic and manual campaign running at the same time so you can compare and always improve your campaign during the holiday period. You want to make sure that you've created the right product description, you've created a very good product listing. So now we want to make sure that people are actually seeing your products and going and buying from you. The last one would be about the great customer service. So we really want to emphasize that customer experience even through the holiday. Even if the traffic and the volume of order is getting higher, we want to make sure that you can still provide a smooth customer experience. So we advise you to monitor really closely your customer metrics. So as I was mentioning before, you can go in the performance tab in Seller Central and check the customer metrics really regularly. You must actually respond to all customer inquiries within 24 hours. So make sure you're really responsive, and 24 hours also include weekends. So make sure that you are monitoring this closely every day. For those who are using FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, the customer service will be done by Amazon directly for fulfillment question. But if the buyer has question about your product directly, they will still be reaching out directly to you. So just make sure that you are replying directly to the customer. We can also tell you to add some personal touch to your orders. That's always nice, especially during holiday season. That could be a great advantage for your product, and that can trigger some great reviews as well. Address any problems quickly and professionally. So once again, make sure that you talk to your customer and you set the expectation right for them. So once again, most of the information will be through your product listing. So the better your product listing is, the less question and probably returns you will get. So I think now it's still a good time to review your product listing, make sure everything is correct, and give enough information to the buyer, not to be asking those questions later when you'll have a very, very high volume of sales. Another tool that is very useful and I advise you to check regularly is the video that are available on Seller Central. It's called Seller University, and you have lots of video actually about your first holiday season on Amazon. So I highly encourage you to watch those videos. They will get into details for some aspects of thing that we talked today, some additional tips. So make sure that you've watched those videos. They're available online on Seller Central. Just have a look and yes, just make sure that you've watched them. So get started now. So you have here some direct link to our Facebook. Make sure that you join our Facebook group, so whenever we have a webinar or if we have additional information for holiday or non-holiday, we will be sharing that on our Facebook. That's very important. There's the registration link, so I was mentioning before, for new sellers who wants to get started and start their journey on Amazon. Just click there and start creating your account. And if you need any more details, you can also use the third link. We also have a direct email address. So it's globalselling-sea@amazon.com. I was mentioning earlier for new sellers on the platform that want to use FBA. So currently FBA is not available in the next few months before Christmas, and will be available again on the 19th of December. So we are really happy to spend those 2 months to create a very compliant and attractive listings for customers. So we have one-on-one support here in Singapore, and we can help you create the listing before launching and shipping your product by the end of December. So targeting at launching the next year, January 2017. So make sure you reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you. So now Miguel is going to introduce you more information on Payoneer and how you can be paid on Amazon. So Miguel, if you're ready, it's your turn.
Thank you, Celine. Hi, everybody. My name is Miguel Warren, and I'm the country manager of Payoneer Philippines. Before I start my session, which is really going to be on cross-border payments, I also just wanted to reiterate that if you have any questions about my presentation, feel free to type it in the question box of the webinar control panel. And then I think, Celine, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have a short Q&A session at the end, right? And we'll be picking some of the questions that you raised there and answering them during our session. So basically, as I mentioned, I'll be talking about cross-border payments and how Payoneer, as a company, enables global commerce and online business. Because certainly as a seller, you know that there is a lot of opportunity online, and understanding cross-border payments is one of the key ways that you can better be ready to receive payments from international clients, because they might be paying with different currencies, they might be a business or they might be a professional, and really the gist of cross-border payments is connecting countries, currencies, businesses, and marketplaces with other businesses, sellers, and professionals. And so let's take a look at what is normally known as traditional cross-border payments, starting with the check. So believe it or not, in the early days of e-commerce, this was the method by which most buyers and sellers transacted. Payments for these transactions would revolve around the mailing of checks from one business to another. And incredibly, even today, with some sellers and some online entrepreneurs that I've spoken to, they still rely on checks to get paid by international transactions. But as you know, this is a very cumbersome process. Checks can get lost, they can get stolen, they can get damaged, and once checks are received, especially international checks, they'll need to go through an international clearing process, which can sometimes take weeks or even months, meaning that you'll have to wait a long time to access your funds. And in today's increasingly digital world, this method, the check, is probably not the best method to transact internationally. And so traditionally, most businesses today even will utilize bank wires, right, or international transfers to get paid by foreign clients. This works reasonably well when you're transacting with a large global bank, but with most local banks who don't have international relationships with other international financial institutions, they rely on what's called the correspondent banking model. In a nutshell, this is if the buyer's bank and the seller's bank don't have a direct relationship, they'll need to go to a third bank who will bridge that gap. And so basically it will be a multi-step process, and at each step an associated fee or an exchange rate is assessed and charged. And traditional cross-border payments, they've been around for years, but there are certainly many considerations that one needs to be aware of when you transact in this way. The process can take time depending on how many different banks are involved. There's a lack of transparency sometimes in the currency conversion, meaning it's difficult to see the foreign exchange rates of the banks involved. And each bank will need documentation to ensure compliance to KYC, or Know Your Customer, regulations. So a lot of paperwork oftentimes changes hands. And once the funds are available, there are typically a limited number of ways that they can be accessed. And so the end result is that this can most of the time be a costly and time-consuming process. There are alternatives in terms of traditional cross-border payments. Certainly debit and credit cards are something which have really helped e-commerce grow significantly globally. They provide convenience, and this makes them a popular option for online payments, right? But that said, for sellers and merchants to accept debit and credit cards for payments, there's typically an accreditation process which can oftentimes be very cumbersome. The amounts per transaction for cards are typically very low, and foreign exchange rates are not very good. The same is the case for remittance services companies, which, believe it or not, are used in some developing countries to receive payments from foreign clients. Although they provide conveniences such as cash pickup and delivery, they also have many points of presence, but the payment thresholds are very low and the fees are very high. And so these are typically more suited for personal remittances rather than for international business transactions. And so until recently, there's been very little innovation in cross-border payments. The technology and infrastructure really hasn't changed in decades. And according to McKinsey, around 60% of business-to-business payments require time-consuming manual processes. And this is really the business problem that Payoneer tries to solve. So Payoneer, we are a B2B fintech or financial technology company that aims to connect countries, currencies, businesses, and professionals. We have clients in over 200 countries, handle 150 plus currencies, and we work with 2,000 plus mass payout clients and marketplaces. And we also have more than 3 million and growing account holders globally. Our solution is really very simple. You really just have to remember 4 ways to get paid and 4 ways to use your earnings. In terms of getting paid, you can receive payments from international marketplaces such as Amazon. If you have direct clients, you can use our billing service to request payment and allow the customer to easily pay you. We also offer global receiving accounts, which basically is like having a bank account in another country, but without a minimum maintaining balance. And companies in those countries can pay in their local currency without having to send an international wire transfer. You can also get paid from others using Payoneer through our in-networks payment system, get paid by your peers. Now, in terms of accessing the funds, you can withdraw the funds to your local bank account. You can use a Payoneer card to get cash from an ATM or purchase online and in-store, basically anywhere that accepts MasterCard. And if you have funds in your Payoneer account, you can pay other freelancers, other businesses, other individuals for services or rendered or goods sold even. So as I mentioned, we have over 2,000 plus global mass payout partners, from e-commerce sites like Amazon to freelance marketplaces like Fiverr, Upwork, freelancer.com, and even vacation rental hosts like Airbnb. And this next section is really what I consider the key takeaway section for everyone interested in selling on Amazon. Because the question is often asked, how can I sell on Amazon US, UK, Europe, or Japan if I don't have a bank account in those countries? This is really where Payoneer can help you. Through our global receiving accounts, we can actually offer you an international virtual receiving account in dollars, pounds, euros, or yen. And then you can then use this account to receive funds from your Amazon store. So when you sign up for Payoneer, you can find the details of your virtual receiving accounts by logging in, choosing the Receive menu, and then selecting Global Payment Service. You will then see for each of the currencies available the bank name, account number, local routing details, account type, and beneficiary name, which will be the name on your Payoneer account. You can then seamlessly receive funds from Amazon by entering your Payoneer details when selecting your payment method. So here's an example of some screens from Amazon US. You simply select Pay Me by Direct Deposit, fill in the details from your Payoneer account like bank name, your name, the bank account number, and the routing number, and then click Submit, and now you're all set to start receiving payments. It's as simple as that. So I'm not going to go through this slide in detail, but certainly we have many successful case studies of online sellers who use Payoneer to get paid internationally. Takahiro from Japan, Jin Won from South Korea, and Joachim from Malaysia all use our global payment service to receive international payments from Amazon and actually multiple Amazon marketplaces. For those that work with direct clients, I'm sure you're well familiar that there are challenges in receiving cross-border payments. Aside from complexity and cost, late payments can also impact cash flow of online businesses. And so Payoneer's billing service can really help you with this. You can bill clients directly and get paid via credit cards, e-checks, or your virtual receiving accounts. You can then also track and manage payment requests, send reminders for later outstanding payments, and basically help manage the payment requests that you have to your direct clients. And an important note here is that your direct clients do not need to register to Payoneer. They don't have to be a member of the service. Or if you send them a payment request, they will just receive an email with a payment link, and then all they need to do is click on it, enter their payment details on our secure site, and then they'll receive confirmation of the payment once it's been made. So a very convenient offering for those with direct clients. And aside from offering you more ways to get paid, Payoneer offers much lower fees and higher foreign exchange than the alternatives. So recently, Let's Talk Payments, which is a specialist research company, recently released a report on the true cost of cross-border B2B payments. The following here is an example from the Philippine edition of that report. In this scenario, a business payment of $1,000 is being sent from the US to the Philippines. So as you can see, the Payoneer option provides the lowest fees and the best foreign exchange, thus resulting in the most local currency received by the seller, right? So that difference between option 1 and option 3 is about 2,500 pesos, which is around $54 saved, right? So that's $54. Think about it. That's actually 17 premium Starbucks coffees, right? And that's only on $1,000. What if that amount were, bigger, right? Say it's $5,000, right? That's actually 12,760 pesos, almost the equivalent of a monthly payment on a car loan, right? And so I think you can see where this is going, right? And certainly cross-border e-commerce transactions can certainly get up to $10,000 a month, maybe even much, much more. So on those sorts of payments, using the same example, that's 25,500 pesos, basically pretty much the equivalent cost of a monthly mortgage payment, right? So if it's anything, I really just wanted to leave everyone here with the message that it's really critical to choose your cross-border payments provider wisely, because it can spell a big, big difference in terms of the money that you ultimately realize in your own local currency. I also just wanted to briefly mention Payoneer's Refer a Friend program, which enables you to earn a reward for referring new Payoneer account holders. Once you sign up for Payoneer, simply log into your account, find the Refer a Friend button, and click on it. You will there see a link that you can share with your friends, and once your friend registers for Payoneer and receives his first payment